Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukhanam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasyaadilakshya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is spa manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself explaining what is spa manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, playing with life, playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Now let's understand who is Paramashiva. Bhagavan himself has beautifully explained the Paramashiva in all of us.
Paramashiva does manifestation, maintenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion and liberation. He resides in his supreme Paramashiva Swarupa as Ajomuha or Adhomuha, unborn, beyond form, formlessness. Is Paramashiva Swarupa. That Paramashiva Swarupa manifests with these 5 faces as Sadashiva, Tatpurusha, Vamadeva, Ahora, Satyojata, Ishana. 5 faces he manifests and does the Panchakritya, Srishti, manifestation, Sthiti, sustenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Trobhava, pulling out of delusion, Anugraha, liberation. Understand? He does all these 5 jobs. Through these 5 phases. Now listen carefully. Tatpurusham, Vamadevam, Satyojatam, Ahoram, Ishanam. These 5 phases does Panchakrityas. Each phase, each dimension is not just one F-A-C-E phase, P-H-A-S-E phase. It's not just F-A-C-E, P-H-A-S-E. Understand? The creation. Not just creation getting created. Even sustenance need to be created. Destruction need to be created. And pulling out of delusion need to be created. Liberation need to be created. Then creation, manifestation need to be maintained. Maintenance, sthiti itself need to be maintained. Destruction, samhara, the rejuvenation need to be sustained, maintained when it is happening. Pulling out of delusion, trobhava, need to be maintained when it is happening. And anugraha, liberation, need to be maintained when it is happening. Those micromilliseconds when it is happening. So understand, Satyojata Murti as 5 phase, Ishana Murti as 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti as 5 phase, Agora Murti has 5 phase, Tatpurusha Murti has 5 phase. So, Tatpurusha Murti as is 5 phase, Agora Murti has is 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti has is 5 phase, Satyojata Murti has is 5 phase, Ishana Murti has his 5 faces. All these 5 Murtis, 5 faces put together is 25 faces of Mahasadashiva.
Bhagavan beautifully explained Paramashiva. Now, who is His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is a reviver of Kailasha, the ancient enlightenment civilization, the great cosmic borderless nation. Is an avatar from and is a supreme pontiff of Hinduism. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has made science of our manifestation, yoga, temple-based university for humanity, Sovereign Order of Kailasha, led by His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and Nithyananda Order of Monks, Nuns, Hindu diasporas, are working for global peace to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. Nithyananda Hindu University, world's largest with extended campus in 150 countries, is collecting, organizing, preserving, time-capsuling, decoding, spreading and reviving 20 million source books of Hinduism and 64 sacred arts, science like Ayurveda, music, dance, sculpting, astrology, Vastu, and many more. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Shamalapita Sarvanyapita, ancient apex body of Hinduism and present emperor of Suryavamsa Surangi Swamrajyam. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has survived the worst persecution of multiple assassination attempts on person and character by anti-Hindu elements. Beautifully, Bhagavan now explains who is His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Everything is infinitely powerful. You realize your potentiality. You establish yourself in the completion, space of completion. You are God, that's all. All of us are gods. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body. Both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. Sangha is a place where the tattvas are taught to you, and till it becomes satya, you are supported. Akhadas are basically founded by Sadashiva himself. All is ganas, Shiva ganas. Exactly the word gana means. In your length, breadth, depth, if you are filled by Shiva, you are Shiva Gana. All the Shiva Ganas formed the first Akhada. Later on, much later, Kapila Muni organizes Mahanirvani Akhada. Then all other Akhadas. Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada, the oldest apex body of Hinduism, I welcome every one of you. What I am teaching is from original Agamas Yogapada. The science very clearly declares, Sadashiva is very clear, manifestation of these powers happen when you experience oneness with Sadashiva. When you choose your guru, the best thing is find a person who is enlightened, experienced, who can play with energy, who can directly transmit experience to you, and who is in tune with the original Shastras, the source of the knowledge. All the revealed scriptures available about the yoga directly by Sadashiva for you to do research, study, practice, question the people who teach.
The science of power manifestation is a gift to the humanity, which is authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof. Diksha, or the initiation from His Divine Holiness, Nithyananda Paramashiva, makes the science directly an experience for the initiates. The experience is directly authenticated by the Pramanas. The Shastra Pramanas, the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Veda and Agamas. The Apta Pramanas, the experience of the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nayanamars, Alvars, and Siddhars, who are the authority of Hinduism, who have scientists who time-tested and verified the science of power manifestation. The Atma Pramanas are the avatar who land on the planet Earth to give a superconscious breakthrough to humanity. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashiva, this millennium's avatar, personal experience of power manifestation. Shakti Pramanas, or the experience of the millions of disciples, devotees, and followers initiated into the science of power manifestation by Bhagavan himself. Pratyaksha Pramanas, or the scientific studies which can be measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. Let's go to the powerful cognition from Bhagavan Satsang on Bhagavad Gita Decoded. Here Bhagavan beautifully narrates, modern science has shown that matter and energy are same. They are interchangeable. The outer world scientists provide this recently. However, the inner world scientists proved it thousands of years ago. Matter and energy can coexist to create existence. We should understand that Kshetra and Kshetranya are not separate entities. When we analyze them at deeper level, Kshetra and Kshetranya are comprised of same things. Kshetra is a gross form of energy that also makes us the subtle form of Kshetranya for coexistence to happen. Both the subtle and gross forms must be there. How we look at things around us defines our lifestyle. We again and again look at things as only matter. When we see only this gross level, fear and greed creeps into us. We then want to get more and more of matter. We live in materialistic life. When we think that all we see is solely matter, when we live at a Kshetra level, we live in an illusion or Maya. We want to possess the matter, but when we realize that it is the energy also, we think, how can I possess the energy? Is it possible to possess it? No, we can't hold the energy in a bag. When this realization happens, we recognize the futility of running after different things that we think are only matter. Beautifully, he says, when the realization happens, we recognize the futility of running after different things that we think are only matter. With this, let's go to the Shastra Pramana. Shastra Pramana. Shastra Pramana are the eternal, unchangeable truth for the power of manifesting, the power of will to change. Shiva Sutra, Sutra 1.13, Icha Shakti Ruma Uma Kumari. Bhagwan Paramashiva says his will is the energy of Shiva and it is called Uma. The independent power of Paramashiva is called Kumari, the cosmic energy that plays. Bhagwan beautifully says how Bhagwan beautifully said about the energy and the matter, how the energy becomes the matter and the matter becomes the energy, how they coexist, and how Kshetra is a form and Kshetranya, the formless, the subtle part of us. Bhagwan beautifully says how the form and the formless of us manifest all the reality. If we are living in the materialistic views and ideas, then that gets projected as our reality. When the formless becomes our inner space, our reality, then that auspiciousness manifests as the matter which works towards that consciousness as reality. Again and again, Bhagavan says, if we understand the formless, the energy, then we can create the matter. But if we are stuck with the matter, we are more and more into the matter and get depressed and disease and death. Here, Bhagavan beautifully says how the energy and the matter, the consciousness, appears as energy, consciousness appears as matter. Both coexist and beautifully it forms the reality. But where and from which context we are living, that matters a lot. If you're materialistic, then only those will start manifesting as reality, the unconscious state. The more and more we are into the unconscious, the entertainment, the lifestyle, where we decide to live unconscious, then our life also is unconscious and only root shock wakes us up. If we consciously live through meditation, ajaba jaba, unclutch, the beautiful space of oneness, the deep space, Paramashiva, that space starts manifesting as reality. The more we are tend to the energy, the more we are going to experience the Paramashiva space. The more we are tend towards the matter, then more the incompletion and chaos state. Bhagavan beautifully says how it is us who decide in what we want to exist and what we are creating as our reality. Each one is a Brahman, infinite possibility. Where we exist is very important to create a conscious reality or a comparative reality. Comparative reality happens, Bhagavan says, Kshetra, how we unconsciously start projecting our life. When we decide consciously that I am going to live consciousness as my ultimate, which is my true nature, then the formless starts manifesting as auspiciousness, as Paramashanta Swarupa, and the most beautiful space, eternal nectar space that Bhagavan describes. Anyone who has the glimpse of these starts working towards this and more seeking into that space to become permanent, the bliss space to become permanent. Bhagavan beautifully guides us into that space by removing all the unwanted. We just become that. He clearly gives us how we can experience the ultimate by just residing in the oneness, doing the ajaba ajaba, doing the complete completion, creating a will persistence, a sankalpa, who we are, the definition of who how we exist, who we are. When we live clearly, we start living a conscious life. All the rishis and munis who were there in those days, all the gurus guided the kings into all the decision from the conscious space. So the whole of India was living in the most auspicious space. Again, Bhagavan is reviving that for us and making us understand that living consciously is the most ultimate freedom that we can experience. With that powerful cognition, let's go to the Apta Pramana. Apta Pramanas are the authority of Hinduism, the Vedic rishis, munis, ganas, nayanamas, alvas, who are the scientists and who time tested and verified the science of manifestation. The source is from Autobiography of Yogi, chapter 1, page 23. Paramahamsa Yogananda gets a large boil in his head by the power of his will, expert from his book, Autobiography of Yogi. Paramahamsa Yogananda says, my elder sister Uma and I seated in the early morning under the neem tree in our Gorakhpur compound. She was helping me with a Bengali premium what time I could spare my gaze from the nearby parrot eating ripe mangoes fruit. Uma complained of the boil on her leg and fetched a jar of ointment. I smeared a bit of the on my forehead. Why do you use medicine on the healthy arm? Well, sister, I feel I am going to have a boil tomorrow. I was testing your ointment on the spot where the boil will appear. You are a little liar. The sister, don't call me a liar until you see what happens in the morning. Uma was unimpressed and thrice she repeated her taunt. Adamant resolution sounded in my voice as I made slow reply. My power of will in me, I say that tomorrow I shall have fairly large boil, and in that this exact place on my arm, and your boil shall swell to twice its present size. Morning found me with a steward boil on the indicated spot, and dimension of Uma's boil had doubled. With a shriek, my sister rushed to my mother. Mukunda has become a necromancer. Gravely, mother instructed me never to use the power of words for doing harm. I have always remembered her courage and followed it. Apta Pramana, we saw the power of will to create anything. Here, Bhagavan says about his Leela.
Was so visibly, directly, shamelessly declaring the power of Mahadeva. That's the right word I'll use. Shamelessly declaring the power of Mahadeva. I've seen on Swami Suraka. He was called Suraka Swami locally. Suraka means bottle gourd. Why? Because in front of him on half bottle gourd, that shell will be there, in which people will put food. Whenever he feels like, he will eat, and otherwise he won't. And next person who wants to offer food to him, he will empty that bottle gourd and clean it and put the fresh food and keep it and go. He had some 25-30 dogs, his friends. Throughout his life, he lived in 3 feet by 3 feet small structure. Please understand, I have never seen him moving. I even doubt his bones all got frozen. I know he is alive because he used to talk to people sometime. and he will smile sometime. His hands will move. Because of that, I know he is alive. No 1, 2, 3. No 1, 2, 3. Because the birds have started sitting on his head and eating from his hair. Some of his disciples have followers have made a small stone pillared hall. You can't say hall and all, just 4 pillars around his body and 2 stone on the top. If you see that structure, you will understand. It's only 3 feet by 3 feet. His whole life is sat. Sometimes his sitting posture will be different. That is why we can even presume that he is still alive. Never seen him doing 1, 2, 3 or taking bath, moving out. But the kind of a space he will radiate and the way he will be sitting. It was so visibly declaring the powers of yogic tradition. Like this, I have seen at least 50 people through extraordinary lifestyle amazingly declaring the yogic powers. Living the powers of Mahadeva, radiating the powers of Mahadeva. I feel, I don't want to say anything about Arunachala because Mahadeva never tolerates. When Madurai was burnt, he kept quiet. Even Meenakshi did not bother. But when one saint was even about to curse Tiruvannamalai, Mahadeva just came and held the neck. Hey, my city, you can't do anything. You should not do anything. So I don't want to tell anything about Tiruvannamalai. I feel this generation looks so poor without that 50 of them. Without that 50 of them, this generation looks so poor. I told Mahadeva, it's now my responsibility to put again at least few hundred people as a garland to you who are in the same state of those 50. I'll do it. I'll do it. Just like how we get wooden pillars from the old houses and refurbish and give it back to society, I'll get the old souls from Kailasa, refurbish them with a modern language and knowledge to reach out to the world, humanity, and give it to humanity. No, I really felt without that 50 people, humanity is so poor. It doesn't know the possibilities. It doesn't have any more living examples. By living as an example the things Ram Sarat Kumar used to teach, the Surakka Swami, Mauna Swami, Annamala Swami, Thinnai Swami, Sadhu Om, Kuppammal, Isakki Swami, Raghupati Yogi, all of them just 30 years before. I am not even talking about Ramana Maharshi's generation. Humanity has become so poor without them. Because now none of you even have one single living example to see and learn. To see and learn. Right concepts about body. Right faith, cognition about mind. Right biomemory. The right concepts about body, mind, consciousness. Is the richness, ultimate richness. Right ideas you carry about you gives you the experience of oneness. Oneness. Neither by building hundreds of houses for yourself, nor by building companies for yourself, or by accumulating more and more cars. Oneness is not experienced by all this. I am not saying don't buy house, don't build house, don't buy car. No. All I am trying to tell you is, let that just be utility, not goal of your life. If the utility becomes goal of your life, you live in stupidity. As I said, stupidopathy. Where elongating your life becomes goal. No. Purpose of your life should be goal. Meaning of your life should be goal. Not elongating your life. If you know the meaning, you know the right length, right number of years you need to live. Number of years you live is not defining your success. The meaning of your life defines your success. With this, I'll move to the next segment.
Apta Pramana and Atma Pramana, now Shakshi Pramana. Shakshi are the millions of disciple devotees who have been initiated by Bhagwan, manifesting and sharing that with others, increasing the temperature of the solid for the self. So here we have a testimonial for a liquid, and she clearly says how it's bringing vapor and reducing the water as she manifested the power of will.
Prataksha Pramana, scientific studies, what can be measured, measuring the effect of being in enlightenment state.
Now the Kenopanishad is taking it to the next level. Declaration, not prayer. Me, my ability to will. Understand? Just like you have various abilities, ability to see, ability to use your hands, ability to use your legs, ability to listen, ability to think, you have something called ability to will. The ability to will integrates all your abilities. The ability to will is the spiritual umbilical cord connection with cosmos. Understand, other than God, no one can will. When we are told only God's will be done, means actually no one else can have will. Only God can have will. If you are having the power to will, you are connected to God. You are part of God. You are Him. Understand? Power to will is umbilical cord connection with God. Our umbilical cord connection with God is our power to will. If you will, no one can deny it. Even God cannot deny it, because your will is bestowed on you by God.
The signs of power of will. The signs of power of will. Science say that eye color is a character determined by two distinct factors: the pigmentation of the eye's iris and the frequency dependence of the scattering of light. In humans, the pigmentation of the iris varies from light brown to black, depending on the concentration of melanin in the iris, which is determined by our DNA. The appearance of blue and green, as well as hazel eyes, result from the Tyndall scattering of light. Eye color varies depending on the lighting conditions, especially for lighter colored eyes. Epigenetics is a study of heritable changes that do not involve DNA sequence, but DNA expression alterations. DNA, methylation, histone, acetylation. These alterations are triggered by different factors, such as nutrition, behavior, physical activity, working habits, smoking, and alcohol consumption. Stress meaning the very quality of our state of consciousness. Health is your nature. You don't need to create it. You just need to remember it. Then the epigenome starts to realign itself. From the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Consciousness alters your DNA.
The epigenetics. They have done so much of research on this field, on this epigenome. Epigenome is a protein particle responsible for your genes and all the happenings based on genes. Please understand, we are always taught genes are responsible for our diseases. No, it's not true. Even your DNA is not responsible. The quality of your consciousness is responsible. The quality of consciousness can directly change DNA. Asan Church very beautifully proves even the persistent diseases handed over to you by the previous generations, like cancer, sugar, blood pressure, heart diseases, even they can be just altered, changed, transformed by the quality of your consciousness. Another one research proves only 35% of your DNA is responsible, only 35%, for what you are, who you are, how you are, and all the major factors like your longevity, disease, health and everything. Only 35%. The science of epigenetics and the epigenome
opens a new door to the great truths declared by Patanjali and Swatmarama. Patanjali in Raja Yoga Sutras and Swatmarama in Hatha Yoga Sutras. Shiva Sutras says very clearly, the man who is in perfect health just by his nisangalpa, means the intentionless consciousness, can transmit that to a human being or any being.
Set up the camera ready for power of increasing the temperature of the food for yourself. The power of will. Have the camera at the timestamp, Dhyananjan if possible, any food which is sattvic, which is vegetarian, which is room temperature, and digital thermometer. After setting up the items, make sure you set up the camera, download the timestamp, click on the video, ensure that the time is shown on the screen, make sure the camera is facing you and it is bright and quiet place. These are very wonderful moment. Please make sure the camera is all ready to capture it. Guidelines for increasing the temperature of solid for yourself. Turn on the video camera. If you have Jnananjan, apply it between your eyebrows and third eye. Visualize Bhagwan and bring awareness to your third eye between your eyebrows. Take the temperature of the solid in front of the camera and make sure it is room temperature. Gaze intensely and gently at the object in front of you without any touching. Through the power manifestation, increase the temperature of the solid. If the solid is increased or decreased initially, it is your manifested the power. But if you increase the temperature by 5 to 10 points, it is best result that you have experienced. Retake the temperature of the solid after you finish the Mahavakya. Verify thoroughly that by taking the temperature couple of times, it is all authentic, and share your powerful cognition and power manifestation video with others and listen to others' experience of manifestation. Power manifestation instructions. Let's sit straight, the head, neck and back in a straight line, so that beautifully the Kundalini energy raises to the Agnya where the manifestation happens. Usually our awareness is on Muladhara, Swadhisthana and Manipuraha, where navel center, your below navel center. Here, bringing the awareness to your third eye and sitting straight will give us amazing possibility of power manifestation. Now let's understand few words that Bhagavan is repeatedly using. Shakti Pada, oneness, be unclutched, initiation. So here first we will see in Bhagavan's words what is Shakti Pada.
Let me give an introduction about what is Shakti Pada process. Please understand. You would have seen or heard about how the chicken sits on the egg and hatches. Of course, in the modern countries, this does not happen. Machine sits on the egg and or egg sits on the machine. In those days, originally when hens and chicken were getting produced on the planet Earth, the hen used to sit on the chicken and hen used to sit on the egg, and the chicken will come out of the egg. See, same way, Sadashiva sitting means the ultimate cosmic energy sitting on the individual soul and making the individual soul into cosmic energy is Shaktipada. Hen sitting on the egg and making the chicken happen, same way. You may think, how come, what is going on here? That
hen is only sitting just by the body heat of the hen. The egg is becoming chicken. Because no surgery is done and nothing goes inside. It's only sitting. Same way, it is just sitting. It's only the presence. The Shakti Pada makes the individual soul into cosmic soul.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained Shakti Pada, how individual soul becomes cosmic soul. And let's listen to initiation.
You see, let me explain the initiation. Initiation is the process beyond your intellectual understanding. The transmission of lamp happens. Now, you understood something intellectually. There is something which is not understood, which can't be transmitted through the words. That is transmitted. That's what we call initiation. Sometimes I tell people that unless you are initiated, the techniques do not create the result. The reason is you do not grasp completely whatever is expressed through words. Initiation is like it just transmits whatever need to be transmitted beyond logic and beyond words. People ask me why to wear this bracelet or this mala and all those things. This all will remind you. Why bracelet in the hand? It will remind you, before eating, did you meditate? It's a constant reminder. Before eating, let you be reminded, did you do the meditation? That is why this bracelet. That is why this mala. That is why this external things. Sometimes this external things does a big job of reminding you constantly. That is why take the help of external things also, nothing wrong. People ask me, why we can just be spiritual without having external things? If you can, really you are welcome. But I don't think anybody who speaks in that way is successful. I've never seen people becoming successful avoiding the external things, just having internal things. And it is just a nice way of escaping from yourself.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained initiation. Let's listen to be unclutched. What is to be unclutched?
The thoughts, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Because the gap between two thoughts is too small. The neutral space between the two thoughts is too small. You think all the thoughts are connected and it is in the shape form. It is not. By your very nature, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Between every thought, you experience a neutral space. When you change the gear, whether you go from neutral to 1 or 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 or 4 to whatever gears you may change, but every time you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to the next gear. Even if you want to go from 2 to 3, you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to 3. Same way, between every thought, you experience a neutral space. You experience a neutral space between every thought. Between every thought. That neutral space, that silence is what I call peace or bliss. The peace which exists, the bliss which exists already in you, between every thought, the gap of the thought the gap between the thoughts, that neutral space is the peace, is the bliss. When you understand you are unconnected, independent, illogical, and unclutched by your very nature, you will start experiencing the neutral space in you, neutral space which exists in you. You will start living from moment to moment in spontaneity. You need to understand one more thing. This technique of being unclutched, it does miracles in your being, in the body level, or in the mental level, or in the being level. In every level, when you understand the truth, by your very nature, you are unclutched. The tremendous quantum transformation. You take a quantum jump. The transformation happens in quantum, not step by step. Just one jump. You take a quantum jump and experience the truth awakening in you.
The oneness space is the most beautiful space that Bhagavan himself is explaining how we are ferocious. Beyond the tiredness and boredom, we can experience the space of oneness and be unclutched.
Oneness is not imagination. Oneness is not visualization. Oneness is not even just declaration. It is your existence. An idea which is you is oneness. The idea which has become part of your very space, which does not tire you or bore you by the passage of the time, is oneness. Mahadeva says in the Agama, Sadashiva beautifully explains in the Agama, Kala, Yama cannot tire you or bring boredom to you if something becomes your space. Devi achieved the blissful state and union with Mahadeva on Shivaratri day because our space became oneness. Anything which brings tiredness or boredom has not yet become your space. If living in this body brings you tiredness and boredom, you are not going to be living in this body forever. When that becomes too much, you are going to drop it and move ahead. If you want to be in oneness forever, it should become part of your space, means you should become ferocious with you and break this very tiredness and boredom. Only when you deal you with the ferociousness, you break the tiredness and boredom. With that ferociousness, you need to make oneness as your space. Anything stands as an imagination in the length level, visualization in the breadth level, declaration in the depth level. If you open your time with ferociousness, it just sinks into space level. With this ferociousness, the time layer in you opens, and the oneness from imagination to visualization to declaration, it becomes your space, the way of existence.
the most important, Bhagavan says, being unclutched, understanding the Shaktipada, the oneness space, and chanting the Mahavakya. The Mahavakya, the power of the Mahavakya pushes you into the higher states of consciousness. Here Bhagavan himself explains how we can experience the Shaktipada, raised higher consciousness through Mahavakya.
It's one of the very important revelation by Sadashiva. All the electronic equipments work when the electrons are made to vibrate. That happens by the light. When the electricity is supplied, the light particle vibrates, the electronic equipment starts working. Just like that, the spiritual power and the umbilical cord connection, spiritual umbilical cord connection between you and me, it works with sound particle. For example, my integrity with the cosmos, Sadashiva, Mahasadashiva, it reverberates in certain level of frequency. When you are integrated to me, you also start reverberating in the same frequency. If your integrity goes down, that is when you start connecting with me only as a manager or this organization head or your Purvashram father, mother. Your connection with me goes down to the lower level if the integrity gets reduced. I was wondering, what is the way we can bring people to the higher integrity immediately and the feeling connection, so they start manifesting the powers, they start staying in the space of Sadashivatva. Sadashiva revealed a beautiful sound. I can tell you, this is like a password. At any point, if you are not able to bring yourself to oneness, you are a little shaken, disturbed, or for some reason, you are not able to bring yourself to oneness. This is like a password. You type, whether your mind feels connected or not, the energy will start flowing in you beyond the depth dimension. You see, all mind oscillation, restlessness, all mental idea based feeling connected or not feeling connected is only length, breadth, depth level, not in the space level. But this sound will straight infuse energy from the space level. Like for example, if the power goes off, automatically the generator will get switched on and the power supply will be going on. So end result will not be lost. Whether government power supply or the generator power supply, end result will not be stopped. So whenever you feel little that oneness is, you are not catching it, just feed this password. Immediately the oneness will open up and you will start manifesting the powers, energy, and the whole space will shift. It is directly from Sadashiva. It's a beautiful sound. I don't even want to say it's a mantra. It is not even a mantra because there is no meaning in it. You can't derive a meaning for it. It just flashed like a password for all the initiations I am giving. One single password for all the initiations I am giving. And the initiations I gave, I am giving, I will be giving for all that. This is like one password. Don't even repeat like a mantra. Just feed like a password and it will just open up. Your whole being will open up. Listen carefully. It starts with the vibration Om. Listen and then repeat. Om. Very deep. Om. Nithyananda. Nithyananda.
Maha Sabashivoham.
So Bhagavan gave beautiful explanation of how you can be in Shakti Pada. Visualize Paramashiva who has come down as Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam from Kailasha. Remembering Paramashiva in your third eye, again and again, bringing your awareness to your third eye simply makes you manifest powers. Absolute unclutching. How Bhagavan said, the neutral zone, nothing ever touches the screen. Like same way, the movie does not touch the screen, whether it is happening in ferocious or any soft, beautiful, nothing touches the screen. Be unclutched like the screen. And to experience the state of Paramashiva, your inner space being completely unclutched. Complete completion to experience the space of Paramashiva. Inside us, the complete completion happens when we are in tune with Paramashiva. That everything is redundant and irrelevant. The essence of completion is irrelevant. Nothing matters in your life because everything is complete completion. Oneness with Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, in ferocious breaking the boredom and tiredness, just being in the space of oneness with Paramashiva to manifest the powers of Paramashiva. Tyaga as Paramashiva is your only strength, now declaring complete integrity with Bhagavan to experience the being of Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, chanting the Mahavakya raises your frequency and that is your only strength to manifest any reality. Being in this beautiful space of Paramashiva, you can experience such a beautiful space, state, powers, and becoming the being of Paramashiva, manifesting whatever you want. Now, you'll be manifesting the powers, watching the oneness capsule, and chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. We'll be playing the Mahavakya and the oneness capsule for you to manifest powers. At end of the Mahavakya, you can start with the verification and sharing and causing. Thank you.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Paramashivam. Nithyananda 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 Paramashivam. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Verification for increasing the temperature of the solid for yourself. Verify that no editing is done on Shakti Avishkarna videos, spa manifestation videos. Verify video is not stopped or restarted between the process of the power manifestation. All videos should have timestamp. All videos should be wide angle. There should be no fan or other means where to raise or decrease the temperature. Making sure nobody touches the object during the process of power manifestation. Make sure you don't tamper the liquid or the solid in front of you by boiling it in the microwave or adding some ice cold to it, cubes in it to make it hotter or colder. Make sure the temperature is taken multiple times to verify it is consistent. Record with the photo and make sure the camera is showing how the temperature is increasing. making sure number of points is not just some decimal but authentically moving nice higher ranges, increased in higher ranges. Thank you so much for participating in the power manifestation. We are at the end of the power manifestation, but most important part of the power manifestation. Here we are going to share all that you have manifested with the social media groups. Here we have Sri Kailasha Kotyar Manifesting Power Groups. Thousands of people are part of that. And you can share there and you can post your powerful cognition and the videos. The link is tinyurl.com/power manifestation. It is at the left corner of the page. You can click on it and you can post your beautiful experience in the power manifestation group. Why sharing and causing is very important part of power manifestation. Bhagavan beautifully explains that sharing is pulling us out of delusion and causing is liberating us. We are the ones who need to start experiencing the higher states of reality, how we need to exist. Beautifully, Bhagavan explains when you are sharing with others the ultimate beautiful multidimensional logic, your brain rewires into the higher space of consciousness, the Turyatita state. Again and again, when you experience even a little bit, you share with the world, your experience becomes reality. Same thing when you cause others to come and get initiated for higher reality, you are caused into the higher purpose, the ultimate reality. Bhagavan says extreme causing, extreme power manifestation is extreme causing. So beautifully he explains how our strength is declared on Paramashiva. The power manifestation happens exactly in tune to that. And sharing with the world, continuously reiterating ourselves the experience that we had from the powerful cognition and manifesting the space of Paramashiva, the state of Paramashiva, the beings of Paramashiva, we become Paramashiva. Go on sharing and causing, which is the most important part of how you have experienced your reality. When you go to a temple, we pray and we see that beautiful experience happen in us, and then share with the world that how amazing the temple experience has manifested as your reality. Same way, when you manifest powers, when you share with the world, it becomes more and more the depth cognition of you, and you will be experiencing more powers. Even if you're manifested very small, it does not matter the quantity. Bhagavan says the quality is important. If it is authentic, please go ahead and share with the world. Do not doubt, have self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred come and block anything. Experience the ultimate in deep seeking and gratitude. Bhagavan manifest in you with a deep prayer, that asking Bhagavan to make this reality as your existential reality. With that, let's end with the Purna Mantra, thanking Bhagavan for all these great experience. We have come to the end of the power manifestation course, and we end with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamadashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Padaka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you for participating in the Jnana Paddhati, Nithyananda Jnana Paddhati course. Please go ahead and select more power manifestation and every day experience the ultimate reality for yourself. Nithyananda.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham